This tutorial, we are going to look at our clone stamp tool, which is right over here. So this picture is a picture of two couples. This couple recently broke up with each other, and she wants to keep this picture of her and her two best friends, but wants her ex cropped out or edited out. So we need to edit her ex out of this picture. And we are going to use the clone stamp tool to do this. So to use the clone stamp tool, you can change your size up here. So this looks like a pretty good size. The clone stamp tool paints with pixels from another part of the image. So it takes exactly another part of the image and you can paint with it somewhere else. So to pick your source, you press Option and you click. So this has picked up this little bit of pixels. So now I want to start painting over this person so it looks like her background. And you can continue to change your source so that it looks more natural. I like to just click as I go, but you can also click and hold and it will paint in there. Let's take a look at it so far. Okay, so these look pretty similar. Maybe I want to get a little more variety and get maybe some of these branches in here. And when I'm doing this, I'm looking at, so if I want to put this branch over here, I'm going to come pick my source, and then I'm keeping my eyes over here so that I can follow along with this branch so that it ends up down here. And I want to be careful when I get to the edge of this. You can see that that edge is visible right there, so I want to avoid those edges. So now as I come down here, I want to make sure I keep this straight line of where the stone is supposed to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my polygonal lasso tool and make a straight line to where I think that, and I can even put it all the way over here. And I'm going to make this selection. So when I make a selection, I am only able to edit inside that selection, so it won't let me go past. So I can keep this a straight, clean line right here with my clone tool. I can still select outside, but I won't be able to paint outside. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the stone, and we see that the top of the stone has a little bit different color than that shadowed part, so I am just going to click this highlighted part and go back and get my clone tool and Option, select, and I can come in and paint. Now remember, it will still take selections from outside or sources from the outside, so I have to keep this little X inside. So you might have to keep making source selections to get that right. deselect. That's looking pretty good. Now let's do the same thing for this shadowed part. Now something else I can do is I can make this selection right here. And I can copy and deselect and paste that and just add that in right there. I'm going to paste again. Now this looks like it's starting to need to be tilted a little bit, so I can press Command T. I can fit that in there. So once I copied and pasted these are on different layers, so I need to go back down to my first layer to copy this area. So I'm going to copy, then Command D for deselect, and paste, and move this where I need to. Paste again and use it again. So now that I have those where I want them, I'm going to come clean this up with my clone tool. And my blur tool. Now you see this is blurring one but not the others. That's because these are all on different layers. So I'm going to select this and click Shift and select this. I'm going to layer, merge layers. So then, okay, we're getting somewhere. Now let's do her legs. And maybe I want a harder edge on this to get up on that ridge. And I want to select that crack right there so I can continue that. And maybe I want to go back and blur this a little bit. And add some of this edge back in there. Let's see what looks right. The reason I'm getting this hard line is because I have my hardness up. To blend that a little bit, I'm going to want to turn my hardness down. And I'm thinking we can fade that in a little bit. There we go. Now we have a picture with 3 best friends and no ex-girlfriends.